there, Okuma fans. Charlie with the ZAxis application staff. I was out in the field yesterday and a customer of mine said, hey, can you zap me the link for your YouTube video that shows how to use mid-auto manual on my milling machine? I said, oh yeah, sure, let me pick up my phone, and I don't have one. I mean, this has got to be the single coolest feature on any Okuma product for the last 40 years, and I don't have a video on how to use it. Let's deal with that right now. You notice up here in the on my simulator, I have a tool that's rocking along, and if this were a real machine, we'd be making noise and coolant and chips and everywhere. The door would be locked. So let's just say hypothetically that I heard a noise just now that I don't like. So of course, first thing I'm going to do is hit the feed hold button. Now, it wasn't a catastrophic noise. It was just a little, well, was it a chip flushing through the cut? Was it my cutter chipping? I don't know. And I won't know unless I go and look into this thing. So I hit feed hold. That's the first thing I want to do. I can't open the door because, okay, one, the coolant's splashing all over, but the spindle is rotating, so the door is locked. I'm just going to reach up and turn off my coolant. Right, well, that's a pretty good idea. And you guys all have this little button right here on your control. This is a P200, a P300, a P500. The P500 calls it something a little different. They've gone from calling it mid-auto manual to manual interrupt. But even if you're running an old 7000 control, you'll notice, hey, there's a mid-auto manual button on there. And this is exactly what the name describes. In the middle of my automatic function, I want to do something manually. So turn that on, and now I have the ability to stop the spindle. Boop, that guy right there. And now the door is unlocked, so I can open it up and open up the doors and see what's going on. Well, yeah, that's all well and good, but I can't quite see what's going on because my tool is down there in the cut. Here's another cool little feature of mid-auto manual. Even though I'm in automatic mode right now, that guy right there, mid-auto manual enables the jogging function of the machine. So I could, without any fuss and a hullabaloo, let's turn off my pulse generator, and I could now select my Z-axis. Oh, look at that! I can jog. I can move any axis I want, in any direction I want. Now I can look at the cut, I can look at the tool, I can look at anything I want. Alright, well that's great. But now I decide that, yeah, it really wasn't anything big. I'd like to keep going. What am I going to do about that? Oh, well, Okuma's got my back on this one. First thing I'm going to do is turn my spindle back on again. Let's do my interlock release and spindle on. There we go. Now my spindle is rotating. Of course, I will take my all coolant off button. Take all coolant off. Yeah, that thing, whatever. But I don't have to move the machine at all. All I have to do is find the sequence restart button, and as soon as I press it, watch what happens to my tool. Went right back to where it was before I started monkeying around, and now I could hit cycle slam, and I'm off and running as if nothing ever happened. Wow, is that awesome or what? Now this goes for mills, it goes for lathes, it goes for multitasking machines. You can do this on any Okuma product, and it really is awesome. However, I do want to warn you something. I'm going to do something here that I don't want you guys to do. Repeat the process. No, you can repeat the process, just don't do the mistake I'm about to do. I do my feed hold, I did my mid-auto manual, and I'm going to jog my Z up in the air, but I'm only going to, that's a little more than I wanted to go, but there we go. I used the jog lock instead of the jog motion. So let's just say I moved up by about 2 inches. Now I'm going to move my Y all the way forward so that I can look at my part without knocking my head in my spindle. When I do my sequence restart, the machine is going to move all axes that got displaced, it'll move all of them at the same speed. Not a straight line. They're going to move the motors at the same speed. So that means whichever axis has the least amount of distance to travel, that one's going to arrive first. So I got to pay attention. I moved my Y by probably 4 or 5 inches, but I only moved my Z up by about 2. So when I do my sequence restart, watch what happens. Zoop. Notice that Z arrived first, and then Y, yeah, I just gouged my part. So the object of the game here, when you are planning on doing a sequence restart, we definitely want to make sure that the interference axis, in other words, the one that could cause me problems, has the furthest to travel. Hey, it's fine. I can move my Y anywhere I want, but I'm going to make sure that I position it in a spot where it does not have as far to travel as the Z-axis does. So as soon as I push sequence restart, notice Y completed first, Z came the rest of the way down. So Z in this case was my interference axis. How neat is that? I adore this feature and I use it all the time, and now hopefully you guys will too, because it's there for you. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, you can either reach out to your local Gosker application staff or comment in the comment here on YouTube, and I'll be happy to answer and maybe even create your video next. Have a good one. Hope to see you out there.